So hello and welcome along to another edition of Isolation Interviews for Hospital Radio and for my YouTube channel. And I'm super excited to be joined by a fantastically talented actor, the fantastic Ben Nicholas. Thank you for
Oh,
joining
that's
me.
very sweet. Thank you very much. How you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. How is life in Australia at the moment? How is everything with COVID going on over there?
Look, I think Melbourne had we had like a little bit of a breakout that most of our states didn't last year, and we went really hard on a lockdown. I see a bit of international news. I think you guys are like 75% there. We went like the full hog, absolutely like ruthless shutdown. Everyone was kind of contained to their houses for, it was 111 days. So for 111 days, I was essentially not working. I did like a little bit of stuff that I could do for my company at home. My wife was at home for a lot of that, just hanging out with our dog. So when you're walking, you had to wear a mask. You had to wear a mask basically everywhere. You couldn't leave your house. And there was only 4 reasons to leave, which was if you're an essential worker, going to the hospital, if you were giving essential care to someone, and if you were exercising 1 hour a day. So yeah, it was pretty ruthless for about, and then all the other states in Australia just like locked their borders to us. So we were like stuck here. But we're like COVID free. There's no people with COVID in Australia unless you've flown in internationally and you're in a hotel. So I guess like we're fortunate, I guess, in that sense now. Yeah.
I was going to say, you must be quite relieved to be getting back to normal, because I mean, here in the UK we're in a third lockdown at the moment, but it is looking positive because I think at last count like 18 million people in the UK have had their first vaccination, which is obviously fantastic news. So we're hoping by the 21st of June to be completely all restrictions gone, which is quite good for us here in the UK. I imagine you're at that point now. That must be quite a nice feeling to be able to just see people again and connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we missed friends' weddings that we're in Melbourne. I'm originally from Adelaide, so I've got a lot of family in Adelaide. We missed weddings, we missed birthday parties. I didn't see my dad lives overseas and interstate, my grandparents as well. So I didn't see them for about a year. So we've seen all of them now. We had like a little scare about 2 weeks ago where Melbourne went into lockdown again because there was a couple COVID cases. But that we had a trip to Adelaide booked that weekend, which was crazy. So we were free for like 4 months, and the one weekend we were supposed to go away, they locked us down the night before. So we didn't get to go, but we have got another trip coming up soon. So that'll be good. But yeah, I guess a massive relief. It was, I think it's interesting. I had like maybe a little bit of different experience than a lot of people. And obviously it's terrible what's going on around the world. And obviously the COVID is a horrible, horrible thing, but like tried to look on the positive side. And my wife and I just got to spend more time together, which was kind of nice. Like we had just together time. She works really hard. I hardly work. No. But it was nice to just have that time together. Our poor dog, though, I think he's probably got COVID anxiety because he had like I said, 111 days with us of like full, attention. And now we're going off and doing things and working. And he's just like, what the hell's going on? Why are you guys out all day? What's this about? So a lot of people in Australia, P.S. the cost of dogs went up during COVID because they were like, what's the one thing that people need? Companionship. So they're like, let's just raise our prices. People will pay anything because they need a friend at home. So dog prices like doubled. I don't know if you can invest in dogs, but that's what you should have been doing. There was like funny memes going around as well of like dogs lying on their owners' floors, just exhausted, saying with like a little meme saying, "Not another walk." Because people were just like having an excuse to get out of the house and be like, I'll take the dog for a walk for the 4th time today. So, I think I got to a point maybe like right near the end where I had kind of tried to enjoy myself and try to see some of the benefits of being stuck at home for a little while. If I was reading books, getting other work done, spending time with my wife. But I think near the end, that kind of, just started to maybe get like that little bit of anxiety. Come on, let's get out of here. I want to see people again. I want to keep living my life. And, so I think near the end, it started to wear on me. But for most of it, tried to find those positives.
I mean,
You
the other
spoke
thing.
to Damien. You spoke to
Yeah, I was going to
Damien.
say he was the one that put us in contact. Damien Bodie, of course, who played Dylan on Neighbours, who played your brother. So I
My
mean,
older, better looking, more charming brother. Yes.
I mean, obviously you've known him for quite a while now, and I imagine you are like best friends. It appears to people. So is he like a brother to you now?
Yeah, 100%. He's like a brother. I was, part of his wedding party. He was part of my wedding party. We, when we both finished on Neighbours, which was around the same time, I went to the UK, which was amazing and absolutely loved it. Loved the UK. But he kind of went in a different direction and went and lived in LA. And then after 4 years or something, we kind of all converged back in Melbourne. And so he, myself, and our friend Kyle, who played another character on Neighbours, Boyd, if everyone does remember him, nice and muscly boy. We all lived together down by the beach, which was, an incredible like 3-4 years. We just it was like a bit of a bachelor pad. We were single. We all met our wives while we were living in the house. So we can blame our wives for why that house broke up, because we're all like, well, we should become responsible and go live with our girlfriends now. But yeah, we had so much fun. I was working at a bar at the time. Kyle was working in his dad's business and starting his career, and Damo was working on Winners and Losers, which was a TV show here in Australia. Might have aired in the UK as well. So, we were all doing different things, but it was just a load of fun. It was like living with two brothers, and I don't have a brother, so that was an awesome experience. Yeah, just chilling down by the beach, not a care in the world type thing.
Do you remember when you first met him? Was it instantly like best friends, or did it take a bit of time to get to know each other and get used to each other?
It was instant. Damo's an easy person to love. Obviously, you would have found that interviewing him. And so I had been on the show for not that much longer than he had, but they brought me in to help audition him for my brother. And I can't actually remember if I auditioned with anyone else or if it was just him. I think it was just him. So they took me in for the audition, and I think we kind of had to improv the scene or something. And I think you get this charge in an audition. Like I've done two things in auditions. You can just like absolutely nail it and just be like, this is my role, and absolutely crunch it and do everything right. And then the other way is you just kind of walk away from the audition going, I didn't do my best. I didn't bring my A game. What the hell was I thinking? I was all over the shop. And I've had both of those experiences very recently on two different auditions. But yeah, we went into that audition and I was already on the show. So I was just like super chilled, and like, even my character was like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So he was, I kind of feel like I'm doing that now. I'm quite energetic, but he had like a whole lot of energy, his character. So, but I think I was still going into that, helping put that audition for Damien. I think I was just kind of chill because I was, pretty confident in my role. And I think I'd been on the show for like 9 months. So I was just, super chill. And then I went in there and Damien was, we got to do the scene, and Damien's doing his character and he's like nailing it with all this energy. And I couldn't keep up because he was in that audition zone. And I think we did the scene, and I think we were supposed to improv afterwards or whatever. And I was just like, trying to keep up at the end of the audition, because he was just like, coming with all these ideas and things, and which is usually, hopefully, I think my strength. But at that time on that day, I was just like not nailing it. He was killing it. And I was just like, oh God, he was amazing. And the audition obviously went very well, and they hired him. And Damien had been in a lot of kids' TV shows before that, leading up to that moment. So I definitely recognized him, and he had that familiarity just because I've watched him in other things before. And then obviously all of our stuff early on was together because he was coming in as my brother. So we spent a lot of time together on near the beginning, which was awesome. And we've got lots in common. We both have that love for the craft and love for films, and he's a big dork, I'm a big dork. So super close.
I mean, the Timmins family was, I mean, still to this day, I think, are one of the kind of the iconic families to have been on Neighbours. I mean, you must have been so honoured to have been a part of that family and to have worked with some amazing people. I mean, obviously, Eliza Taylor, who played Janae,
Yep.
Nell, who, of course, played your mother. So what was it
Mhm.
like to work with all the, and Toadie, of course?
Yeah, of course. Like coming in as Toadie's cousin. I think my original stint was like 3 months with a couple of different options. I think the first 2 or 3 options got me up to a year, and I think that's when they brought in. They bring in my mum first. Yeah, they brought in my mum first. They brought in Nell, my mum, and then they brought in Dylan, and then they brought in the two sisters. Um, and yeah, we had so much fun. Like, that's nice of you to say that. And I do hear that every now and then, that people kind of like miss the Timmins, and they miss that kind of, in Australia, we would call them bogans. In the UK, hopefully it doesn't offend anyone, you might call them chavs, or, from, maybe a low socioeconomic area, and they were just like family is everything, and that was the only thing that mattered. And it was like they squabble with each other, and they fight and they fight, and then someone from the outside like looks at your sister like the wrong way, or your brother the wrong way. It's like, okay, yep, we'll go kill them now. Yeah. So they like band together. It's like the ultimate like best friends, and they're like a super tight unit. So yeah, it was great working with them, and I was surrounded by incredible actors, and you were very different than any other family that had maybe ever been on the show, maybe ever, just because we were so polarizing. Like they were, essentially, I think the UK do it really well, and I think I don't get the chance to watch many soaps, UK soaps, but they tend to bring in, grey characters more often, where it's like, you can bring in a great, young, hot guy or girl into the show, and that's pretty clear about what their role is, and they'll have journeys, and they'll do good things and bad things, and that's great, and that's what good character development and writing is about. And then you can bring in like, oh, I can see that character is a baddie. He's here to kill someone eventually, or he's here to just cause trouble. And then on the flip side, that person can be good and have some nice moments as well. But like truly great characters where we're just like breaking the law and doing whatever the fuck we want, and like just having more fun, and then still doing the good and the bad things. I think that was kind of like the family dynamic and what the purpose of our family and our characters were at that time. And I didn't think that there was anyone else on the show that was kind of doing that. And we do hear often that everyone's like, bring back the Timmins, which is great for everyone else, but I'm dead, so it's not going to help me at all. So let's not give all of my fellow friends another job without giving me a job. So I'd feel very left out. Unless I can come back to Stingray's like long lost twin or something.
There was a campaign at one point. I think you tried to start it yourself to bring back Stingray.
That doesn't sound like anything that I would do. That sounds, yeah, that's correct. I was back on the show. I've been back and forth at Neighbours over the last 4 or 5 years doing like different things for them. I think I first went back and I did Neighbours versus Zombies. So I got a call from the digital guy who was a guy called Rick Foster, who was doing the digital department. He's like, I've got this awesome idea. We're gonna do like a split reality Neighbours kind of online digital show called Neighbours versus Zombies. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's very, very funny.
Very funny.
And they brought back my character from the dead, which was great. And so I met him during that, and then he needed someone to work with him in the digital department. And I was I'm still acting and pursuing that career, but looking into writing and shooting and directing and editing and all that kind of learning new skills. So I went and worked with him for probably about 1.5 years. And then I left, and then Neighbours contacted me and said, would you want to do like a fan show, like kind of a hosted fan show, like on camera, where kind of interviewing the cast, talking about upcoming storylines, playing pranks on people and all that type of thing, which I did go back and do. And I'm always like to poke fun at myself and self-deprecating. So I thought it would be fun to create like this scenario where I was a bitter, twisted actor that was just trying to push my way back onto the show and talk to the producers about all the ways that Stingray should still be alive. And so part of that was starting the Bring Back Stingray campaign, which I pushed pretty heavily. Unfortunately, they weren't interested.
I mean, were you disappointed to have been killed off, or do you think that that was the right move for the character at the time?
No, definitely right move for the character at the time, and not disappointed in earnest. I think it was a cool storyline. I think it was a cool way to go out. I think if you get to have that death, I guess it can be two ways. It can be the writers are like, let's get rid of this guy, or it could be like, let's really hurt the audience by killing off a character that they like. So, it can be two ways. I have heard that my death has been voted the least memorable on Neighbours, though, because it happened very strangely and quickly. I had a brain aneurysm, if anyone does remember. It all happened very quick. So it was a bit like, what? That just happened? And then it kind of needed a couple episodes afterwards to explain what had happened, which sadly, I guess, does happen to people in the population. So, yeah.
Now, I just wanted to talk a bit about Neighbourshood, because it is such a great sort of spin-off to the main show. I mean, obviously, I'm someone personally who I love all the behind the scenes stuff anyway. So any of these kind of like sort of look behind the scenes and all that sort of thing, it's always nice to see kind of what the actors get up to, and also just to prove what they're like in real life as well. So it must be nice for you to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think going back and doing that, I think I was in like a perfect position because, let's say 50% of the cast I had worked with and so knew me quite well. And we're like, oh my God, Ben, you haven't matured at all in the last 10 years. And then the other 50% of the cast members, I guess I kind of got like respect from because the other guys knew me. So I was in like a good position where everyone was really open with me and were just like, oh, okay, I trust that Ben will make, like, I don't know what we're doing right now, but I trust that Ben's going to try and make it funny. So they kind of put like a lot of faith in my hands that I'd just be like, we're going to play this game and it's going to be great and I'll edit it together and don't worry, you're not going to look like an idiot. And we're like, okay. So I think, hopefully most of the time we got it right. But yeah, it was just fun hanging out with the cast, hanging around the crew. I mean, I was getting paid just to hang out and chat on camera, and I'd love my own hosted show. I would love to be doing that as a job. I think that's a really fun way to make a living. So, yeah.
I mean, I'd say one of my favourites to watch was yourself with Damien and Stephanie McIntosh when they obviously returned for the 35th anniversary. I mean, it didn't look like work.
Link up here. We'll put a link up.
Yeah, we'll put a link on there. But it didn't look like work. It just looked like you were having fun.
Yeah, I guess we were just having fun. We hadn't seen Steph for a long time, so that genuinely was great to hang out with her and hang out in that set where we had worked together we were in the Kennedy set, which is where I lived for a long time. So it was, it's one of those friendships with Damo as well, but also Steph, where you kind of just pick up where you left off, especially because we were picking up from the location where our friendship was based. So, that was really interesting and a really fun day. Yeah, really fun putting them.
Do you think we'll get to see any more Neighbourshood going forward? Is it something you'd like to do again?
# bring back Neighbourshood, I think, is what we need to start. Just get that trending. I don't know. I think it's hard at the moment with COVID because Neighbours are being very, very responsible and very strict with how they're operating and how they are filming and all that type of thing. They've got separate zones to keep production and the crew separate and all that type of thing, just in case something was to happen, they could isolate and not worry the fact that the cast were going to get sick or get affected or anything like that. So maybe not in the near term, but you never know. Maybe I should just take a leaf out of your book and start my own show like you're doing, which is fantastic.
Oh,
just
thank
go
you.
and interview people and act like my jerky self.
I mean, Zoom is the way forward, I think, at the moment. It's the best way of kind of getting to people and getting out there. So maybe that could be a possibility going forward.
And so if you are watching and you want to donate to Matt, just here's his PayPal account. Just give him some cash, guys, to keep this going. So, yeah, subscribe here with PayPal money from Matt. Is that good? That's what you
that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Now I just have to pay it another 2 times, right? Is that what you said?
But no, I just have to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking. But before we go, is there any messages you would like to give to anyone who is stuck in hospital at the moment?
Keep watching Neighbours. Do things that are entertaining. Chat with your friends. I guess jump on Zoom like this and chat to as many people as you can. Yeah, good luck. I'm actually having an operation myself tomorrow. So maybe we can all jump on Zoom, all 10,000 of us, and talk about our experiences. But I don't know, maybe, Neighbourshood is quite funny. And if you are a big fan of Neighbours, maybe you could Google or YouTube Neighbourshood and have a watch, and try and find one of your favorite actors that I interviewed, and have a watch of that. And hopefully my stupid antics will put a smile on your face.
Now, I just want to say, Ben, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for giving up your time. Of course, keep safe. Hopefully, it all goes well tomorrow for you as well. And yeah, thank you very much.
No worries, mate. Thank you.